Yeah, so we just got back from the NCAA Regional Championships down at Oklahoma State. We had two of the best two finishes in program history on the men's and women's side. Women finished 13th at the Regional Championships. Men finished 15th at the Regional Championships, and it was highlighted by Yonca, who qualified to the NCAA Championships as an individual. She placed sixth overall. In a very, very tough field against some really, really tough runners. And so she got an automatic qualifying bid to the NCAA Championships, which is this upcoming weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia, hosted by the University of Virginia. And so we're flying down on Wednesday, and we get to compete Saturday morning. And so we're really excited at an opportunity for her to hopefully become an NCAA All-American.
What was the path that brought her to Grand Forks? How did you find her?
Oh, it was that's a wild story. So it started. I found her on a list. So I go through like countries' lists of performances, and I stumbled across her. She had some pretty good 5K times. I sent her a DM on Instagram, and it started. I think our first initial conversation was at 3 a.m. at a Zoom call with me, her, and a translator, because she couldn't speak any English. And so I did that probably once a week for the next few weeks and just kind of talked about how the process would work and how she would have to learn English and pass the Duolingo exam. And I think she took it maybe 3 or 4 times, finally got the score she needed to get accepted here at UND. And it took about probably 18 months from the first time I talked with her before she finally got here this past August. So it was a big process, but props to her for taking it seriously and taking an English class and figuring it all out. And now she's seeing the success, of getting to compete against some of the best young athletes in the world. And I think it's pushed her to improve a lot over the course of the last 3 months or so.
How can that help the program, bringing in somebody of that caliber? In which ways is that going to help you guys?
Yeah, it's helping our current girls right now. I think they see a lot of the hard work that she's put in, and Yunja's done a great job leading the group. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for an international athlete to kind of feel their way around being in the U.S. and being in a new program, new environment. But she's done a really, really good job of helping lead these girls and kind of showing them the way. She's running 60, 65 miles a week. She's a great influence. She's always encouraging the girls, answering any questions they have about, hey, this is what you need to do to get to that next step. And so she's currently helping the girls right now. And I also think from a recruiting standpoint down the road, now that we're starting to see some success, we're a top 15 program in the region, and I think soon to be a top 10 program in the region. And, getting her to the NCAA championships, it shows that what we can do here as a program. And so I think it's really going to help down the road for recruiting in the next few years as well.
Yunca's obviously been kind of on a roll here, going from the Summit League to the regional. And I know that everybody's dealing with the essentially quick turnarounds of trying to train and yet get some rest as well. Is this really the test, basically, of all this training and trying to basically have one last great run left in a person like this?
Yeah, no kidding. It is a test. Usually between these big races, we get 2 weeks, but for whatever reason, the way they schedule the NCAA championships, you get 8 days. And so, we took Saturday off after the race on Friday. We did an easier run yesterday. We'll probably do a little easy run today again, and then a workout tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to be the test. Is every runner is coming off of regionals this past week, and so on Saturday, I'm willing to bet 90-95% of them aren't going to feel 100% or fully recovered from the previous race. And so it comes down to mental toughness, right? Of who can kind of get past that and not let that hinder their performance, right? And I think Yunja's as tough as it gets. Like even when she got here, she wasn't cleared through the NCAA yet, and so she wasn't able to practice with us. And she told me and Coach Fahrenkamp that don't worry, she's experienced way tougher things growing up in Turkey. And so just having that grit, that toughness of who she is, I don't think that's going to be an issue.